Hey guys, just got back from Dom's, had me my tuna sandwich, and we're gonna talk about battery relocation in the 0406 GTOs. So let's dive right into it. This is my 04. Now, everybody hates on the 04. Before I bought it, it had a whole bunch of 05, 06 upgrades done to it, and now I'm upgrading it further. So there's not a whole lot 04 about it anymore. So grab our Milwaukee light. If y'all don't have one of these, look into it. They're badass. This is where the original battery went. As you can see, there's no battery tray. What I used was aught gauge wire that I had laying around from a previous audio build. As you can see, I've got this terminal here. This one is not permanent. Eventually, this is going to be the permanent terminal, but I haven't unloomed the wiring harness to route everything up there. I wanted to make sure everything I was doing was productive and correct before I went around tucking everything in. So there's a jumper coming from this one to this one just temporarily. So that's where all my positive goes. My negative, I also ran all the way to the front. A lot of people like to just, ground it out to the frame. I thought since I had a bunch of negative wiring as well, I'd just run it all the way to the battery, and I'm happy I did because it seems to have a lot more response. Startup is very, very quick. No dimming of lights when the audio's on. So I have no complaints about what I've done here. And plus, this is just a toy car for me. I'm not trying to shed every single pound that I can. I'm just making modifications to it and showing y'all how I do things. But I was very motivated to move the battery into the trunk to kind of clean up some room in here. So, all right, moving on. As you can see, ran through the firewall. So let's look inside the cab. I say cab because I own trucks. The most difficult part was getting it up through the firewall here because you can't really find the hole to feed it up through. So what I had to do is get another piece of wire, feed it down through the firewall, tie it off with a zip tie, and then pull it back up. And I did that with both the positive and the negative. As you can see, the negative's already starting to get hidden in there. I left the positive exposed for this video to show y'all how I went about doing it. So from there, I removed this kick panel and fed the wire in under the existing harness. I'm going to push that back down in there and make it all nice and clean to where the carpet can fold back over it. Ran it underneath the original harness. And in the back, pulled the back seats. Thankfully, I did not have to pull this entire panel here. There's a very large hole in the rear firewall, or whatever you want to call that, that I was able to just feed the wire through and stick my hand up here and kind of grab it. Took a couple of tries, but it saved me from taking this whole panel off and having all that trouble. So getting the interior down to this took 10 minutes. It was pretty easy. And then in the back, now this is where people, might have a difference in opinions, but I enjoy my Optima batteries. I've had about a dozen of them, never had problems with them. Well, I had one problem with them in my Duramax here. One of the batteries swelled up about a month or two after I bought it, but they had it replaced for me within the week, so I have absolutely no complaints. What I used for my aught gauge wiring in these pretty cool battery terminals is KnuKonceptz. One of the things my wife pointed out to me was that they like to spell things with K's. I don't know if that's of any significance or not. I don't care because I only care about functionality. So I'll show you where this got routed through in the back. You can see that's where the body harness comes through. I just fed it through that hole. I like how it's sitting there. I might put something around it just to make sure that wire doesn't rub on that metal, but I don't think it's going to. I think it's fine. As you can see, I took the shipping brace out. It serves absolutely no purpose. Absolutely no purpose. I also took the little legs off it as well. So I guess with that, even though I added all the weight from the aught gauge wiring, I was able to pull some weight out of the car with that overall. So yeah, as you can see, got my little daily over here. It's got an Optima in it. That truck has two Optimas in it. The machine on the back has an Optima in it. And this truck has an Optima in it. Now, the only one that I didn't necessarily have to replace was the one on the machine on my truck, but all the other ones I just replace with Optimas as the batteries go bad. And all of these vehicles I bought very used. So each one of them was cheap and each one of them needed some work. So let me show you how this thing fires up. It's real quick, real responsive. Let me sit down in here. So Oh. Apparently I need gas. So the only other thing that I'm going to do to this is I'm going to mount this here 150 amp breaker into the back. Now I don't know if that's absolutely necessary, but one of my buddies had done it to his car. It was $15 on Amazon. Not a big deal. Oh, let me go over the battery mount. That's what I really liked about this. This is an ICT Billet battery mount off Amazon, sponsored by Amazon, baby, that I found for about 50 bucks. And as you can see, it's got these teeth here, and see if you can get in there, 2 more in the back. And then it it comes with 6 bolt holes in the bottom of it to mount it to wherever you're going to mount it. I only used 3, but 2 of them go into the rear subframe, or through the rear subframe. I was able to find some holes and get a socket up in there and snug these guys down. But I was real happy with that mount and how well it's mounted. And as you can see, I'm putting all 200 pounds of my weight on it. It's not moving at all. It's moving the car. So I'm very happy with that. It's not going to move anywhere. So other than that, I've got a couple more videos to come along. We're going to go over the 2-step install. Now, some folks are lucky enough to be able to just wire this directly into their clutch. I was not, and I'm not the kind of guy that wants a switch for it, so I'm going to do the Lingenfelter install with the relay, and that should clear that up. And then I'm going to go over my Mishimoto radiator, which is an 0506 style, and what I did to modify that to fit, and then modify the 04 fans to fit into the 0506 fan shroud, and make a little video on that. So, like I said, I'm going to be making more videos for the GTO and its modifications, and then, if there's anything for this LBZ, and then, the Suburban Pop project that I have out there. So if you guys enjoy working on LS engines, please subscribe. It'll give me motivation to do more. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm good about getting back to that, and I have no problem answering any questions that I can. If you've got anything else, like I said, let me know, and good luck on your projects out there. Get busy living. Have a good one.